start, we're going to chain 2. So we're going to begin with the slip knot, and then we're just going to work 2 chains. So it states at the beginning of this pattern that you're working in rounds throughout. So first we've got our 2 chains, and round 1 says 6 double crochet into second chain from hook. So we're going to skip this first chain that's nearest the hook, and we're going to work into the second chain. Let's put our hook through, and we're just going to work 6 double crochets into this chain. Back, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I always find it easier to put a stitch marker into the last stitch of the round, and then doing this you know where the last stitch of the round is each time, because it can get a bit confusing. So for round 2 we're going to work 2 double crochet into each stitch. Here's our first stitch, so just work 2 double crochet and continue until you get to the last stitch in the round. Into the stitch with the marker, so we're just going to take that out. Do our final 2 double crochet into the last stitch, and then put the stitch marker back into that final stitch, and that's round 2 completed. So then round 3, we've got 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next stitch 6 times. This means that you do the instructions in the brackets 6 times. So we're going to work the 1 double crochet, and then we're going to work 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then we're going to repeat this 6 times. We do 1 and then 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Marked stitch, so then you should be doing your last 2 double crochet, and then place your stitch marker back in. So round 4 we're going to do 2 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch 6 times. So again you repeat the instructions in the bracket 6 times. So we're going to start by doing 2 double crochet, so 1 double crochet into one stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So we do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And continue to do this until you reach the marker. So now I've reached the marked stitch again, and we should have a 2 double crochet left. complete. So then round 5, now we're going to do 3 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch 6 times. So again, we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, another double crochet into the next stitch, and then work 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then repeat till you reach the marker. And then we got back to our marker, and you should have a 2 double crochet left to do. So at the end of this round you should have 30 stitches, so it's always worth checking just to make sure. So then for round 6 we're going to do 4 double crochet and then 2 double crochet into the next stitch 6 times. So again, like the other rounds, we're just going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and the 4th double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then repeat round. Now we've got back to the marked stitch, and then we're just going to work the last 2 double crochets into that last stitch, and then put the marker back in, and that's round 6. So then for round 7 we're going to work 5 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch 6 times. So again, so that's just 1 double crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then we're going to work 2 double crochet into this next stitch. And now we're going to repeat what's in the brackets 6 times in total. And we've reached the last stitch, and there's 2 double crochets into that last stitch. And then put your stitch marker back in. So then round 8, we're going to work 6 double crochet and then 2 double crochet into the next stitch 6 times. So again, we're just going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch in the next 6 stitches. And then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 6 times in total. Then we've reached the last stitch. I'm just going to do 2 double crochets into the last stitch. So now for rounds 9 to 16, we're going to work 48 double crochets. So from the last round, we have 48 stitches going round. So all this means is that you do a double crochet into each stitch from rounds 9 to 16. So now we're just coming to the end of round 16. The last stitch, just again take your marker out, your last double crochet, and then and place your marker. So as you can see, we've now started to work straight, and so we're actually getting a bit more of a shape for the bottom of the pear. So then round 17, we're going to work 6 double crochets and then decrease into the next stitch 6 times. So for this, we're just going to work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then to do a decrease, for this we're just going to do double crochet 2 together. So we're just going to go into the next stitch, pull through, and then we're going to go into the next stitch again and pull through, and then wrap round and pull through all 3 loops. And that's decreased 1 stitch. So now we're going to repeat this again for a total of 6 times. The last 6 double crochets, and we've still got to do our decrease. And just work the last decrease and then place your marker back in. So now we have 42 stitches. So then for round 18, we're just going to work 42 double crochets. So that's just 1 double crochet into each stitch. Now we're just coming to the end of the round. And again, take the marker out, work your last double crochet, and just put your marker back in. So then for round 19, we're going to work 5 double crochets and then another decrease. So we'll do our 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to work our decrease. And then we're going to work all of that again, another 5 times, so 6 times in total. Now we're just coming back round to the end. So you should finish with 5 double crochets and then a decrease stitch. So now for round 20, we're just going to work 36 double crochets. So that's just 1 double crochet into each stitch. So now we're back round to the end of the round. Just going to take our stitch marker out. Instead of putting it back into the last stitch you've worked, the next part of the instructions is to attach the safety eye and embroider the mouth. So to make sure that this live stitch doesn't come undone, I'm just going to pop the stitch marker into this stitch instead so it keeps it secure. So the next part is to get your safety eyes. So we've got the 2 safety eyes. And then use your needle and thread to sew on the mouth, and to do this just follow the photograph as a guide. Okay, so now we've attached the safety eyes and sewn on the mouth, so now we're just going to start working round 21. So to begin again, just pull out your marker and just take that off, and then you've got your live stitch again. back into that last stitch so you know where the finish of the round is. So now we're going to work 4 double crochets and then decrease into the next stitch. So we'll just work 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to work our decrease stitch again. So now we're just going to repeat this for a total of 6 times. Now I've got to the last 2 stitches, and that's where you should be doing your decrease. So now at the end of this round, you should have 30 stitches in total. So now the pattern says rounds 22 to 27. We're going to work 30 double crochets into each stitch. So again, we're just going to start working straight. So we'll just begin. So just 1 double crochet into each stitch for rounds 22 to 27. So now we're just finishing up round 27. Stitch, put your stitch marker back in, so now you can see we worked straight, we've done some more decreasing, and now we've started to work straight again. So for round 28 we're going to work 3 double crochets and then a decrease stitch. Do our 3 and then a decrease. So now we're going to repeat that for 6 times in total. Then we've got to our last stitch. We're just going to do our final decrease and put your marker back in. So for round 29, we're just going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch. And then just work the last stitch. So for round 30, we're just going to work 2 double crochets and then decrease into the next stitch. So just work 1, 2, and then do our decrease. So again, we're just going to repeat this for a total of 6 times. Just work our final decrease. So now we're going to just stuff the pear. So like we did before, we're just going to put the stitch marker into that live stitch so it doesn't go anywhere. So now for round 31, so we'll just get that live stitch back. Take out your stitch marker. Make sure to put your stitch marker back into that last stitch. So for round 31, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet and then a decrease. So you've just got 1. And then do your decrease. So again, we're just going to do this 6 times in total. double crochet, and then just take the stitch marker out and do your final decrease. So for round 32, we're just going to decrease 6 times. So it just goes straight in and just decrease all the way around. Then we've just got the last decrease to do. The yarn and just pull through that last loop to secure. And there's your pear. Okay, so now we're going to start working on the cheeks. So to start, we're just going to do our slip knot and we're going to chain 2. So for round 1, we're going to work 6 double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we'll just put the hook into that second chain and just work 6 double crochets. Join with a slip stitch to the first double crochet. So just insert your hook into that first stitch that you worked. And then just pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. And then we're just going to fasten off. So just cut the string, and then thread the yarn through the last loop and pull to secure. So that's one cheek done, so then we just need to do another one. So now we've worked 2 cheeks, and so all we need to do now is, using the long tail, is just sew onto the pear using your darning needle. So now we're going to start working the leaf. So we've got our purple yarn, and first we're just going to chain 8. So again, start with our slip knot and just chain 8. Do 1 double crochet into the second chain from the hook, one half treble into the next stitch, one treble into the next stitch, double treble into the next stitch, which wrap round twice, pull through, wrap and pull through 2, wrap and pull through 2, and then wrap and pull through 2, then just a normal treble, half treble, finally double crochet into the last stitch. Then we're going to work 2 chains. And now we're going to turn our work and start to work on the underside. So we're going to do 1 double crochet, treble. And one last double. I'm just going to slip stitch into that first double. And I'm just going to fasten off, leaving quite a long tail. And then just pull through to secure. Then we're just going to sew this onto the top of the pear. Okay, so now we're just going to work the stalk. So we're just going to use our teal, and to start we're going to chain 7. So work the slip knot. And then just do 7 chains. So now we're going to do a half treble into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we've got 1, 2, working into the 3rd chain. And then 2 half trebles. And then 2 double crochets to finish. Again, we're just going to leave a large tail, pull it through the last loop, and then just attach this last bit onto the top of the pear. So now we've attached the stalk, we've now finished this amigurumi pear. If you're looking for any more inspiration, then just go and visit the Hobbycraft blog.